Most people underestimate what can happen in just 1 week. They think transformation takes years, maybe decades. But that's not true. Change doesn't require time. It requires a decision. A decision to break patterns, to rise above distractions, to stop negotiating with laziness and fear. 1 week of focus, 1 week of discipline, 1 week of intentional action, and you will not recognize the person staring back at you in the mirror. It's not about becoming someone else. It's about shedding the old version of yourself. The version that made excuses, hit snooze, avoided challenges, and lived on autopilot. You already have everything you need inside you. What's been missing is urgency, clarity, and commitment. Today I'm going to walk you through a 7-day transformation plan that will help you become unrecognizable, not just to others, but to yourself. You'll learn how to reclaim your mornings, destroy weak habits, train your body, fuel your mind, and speak, move, and think like a different person. Not in theory, in practice. This is not about motivation, it's about strategy. It's about creating a blueprint that rewires how you show up every single day. If you've been stuck, this is your way out. If you've been tired, this is your recharge. And if you're ready to become the person you were meant to be, this is your moment. Stay with me for the next few minutes as I give you the exact roadmap to become unrecognizable in just 1 week. Let's dive in. Number 1, stop wasting the first hour of your day. If you want to change your life in 1 week, start with how you spend the very first hour of your day. That hour is sacred. It's not just the beginning of your morning, it's the beginning of your momentum. Most people roll out of bed, grab their phone, scroll through nonsense, and instantly give away their focus. Before they've had a sip of water, or even taken a deep breath, they've already handed control of their day to the world, and that's exactly why they stay stuck. Your first hour needs to be yours, not your boss's, not your notifications, not the news, yours. When you wake up, you're standing at the gate of a new day, a brand new opportunity. And the way you treat that moment tells your brain, your body, and your soul whether this day matters. So give it meaning. Wake up with intention. Hydrate. Move your body. Even if it's just stretching or a short walk. Breathe deeply. Write down what you're going to accomplish and speak life into your day. Don't mumble into the morning. Command it. Create a routine that energizes you, centers you, and puts your mind in attack mode. Because once you own that first hour, the rest of the day starts chasing you instead of you chasing it. This one shift alone can change how people see you. You'll walk differently, think differently, and act like someone with purpose. The kind of person who doesn't react to life, but designs it. So don't let your mornings go to waste. Guard them, use them, master them. Because if you win the first hour, you've already won the day. Number 2, eliminate 1 weak habit today. You don't need to fix your entire life in 1 week. That's not the goal. The goal is transformation. And transformation doesn't start with adding new things. It starts with cutting out the things that are holding you back. Just 1. That's it. 1 weak habit that you know is killing your progress. 1 behavior that has no business being part of the future you're building. Because here's the truth. Your identity is shaped more by what you stop doing than by what you start. Every time you let a weak habit stay, you're feeding the old version of yourself. And the old you has already had its turn. That version got you here. But the person you're becoming, that version can't afford to keep dragging around the same baggage. Whether it's endless scrolling, negative self-talk, junk food binges, skipping workouts, sleeping too late, or making excuses. Pick one. Pick the one that you know is costing you the most and cut it off like it's poison, because it is. You don't need motivation to do this. You need a decision. A non-negotiable decision that says, this habit ends with me. That's the moment everything changes. It's not about perfection. It's about breaking the pattern. If you can break 1 destructive loop today, you create space for a stronger you to step forward tomorrow. It's like pulling a weed from your mental garden. Once it's gone, growth happens faster, clearer, cleaner, stronger. And don't overcomplicate this. You don't need to make a list of 20 things. You just need to identify the 1 habit that whispers, no one will notice, it's not a big deal, and realize that's the habit keeping you small. The habit that's killing your self-respect, 1 quiet day at a time. Get rid of it. Replace it with something better. If you always reach for your phone first thing in the morning, replace that with writing down your goals. If you constantly complain, Replace that with a daily gratitude check. If you procrastinate on what matters, set a timer and do the hard thing first. When you remove just one weak habit, your energy shifts, your standards rise. You prove to yourself that you are in control, not your urges, not your cravings, not your distractions. That kind of power, that's how you become unrecognizable. Not because the world suddenly sees someone different, but because you do. You look in the mirror and realize you're not that person anymore. You're not tied to that habit. You're not a slave to the old pattern. You're building something new, and it started with one simple choice: letting go of what no longer serves you. So make that decision today, because your future is watching. Number 3, move your body like you mean it. You can't build a strong mind in a weak body. The way you move tells the world how you feel about yourself. And more importantly, it tells you how you feel about yourself. If you're slouching through the day, dragging your feet, walking like life is a burden, guess what? That energy multiplies. Your mind starts to believe that story. Your emotions follow your posture. Your thoughts follow your pace. Now think about this. When was the last time you moved with fire, with purpose, with strength in your step, and a rhythm that says, I'm here to win today? You don't need to become a fitness model or spend 5 hours in the gym. What you need is movement with intention. Move your body every day this week like it matters, because it does. This is about claiming your space. It's about shaking off the old energy and stepping into a new rhythm. Go for a hard walk. Do some push-ups. Dance in your room like you own the floor. Stretch with focus. Breathe deeply while you move. You're not just getting in shape. You're shaking off weakness. You're waking up the warrior inside you. That strength you want to feel in your life. It starts in your body. And don't tell yourself, I'll do it tomorrow. No, do it today. Do it tired. Do it unmotivated. Do it without the perfect playlist or the right shoes. Just do it. Because movement creates momentum. The more you move, the more alive you feel. The more alive you feel, the more confident you become. And confidence is magnetic. It changes how people see you. It changes how you walk into a room. It changes how you speak, how you lead, and how you live. You want to become unrecognizable? Then stop moving like the person you used to be. That version moved slow. That version played small. That version hesitated. Not anymore. This new version of you walks with certainty, trains with fire, stands tall and breathes, like every breath counts, because it does. So make it a rule this week. Move daily. Move deliberately. Move like the person you're becoming, not the person you've been. Your future self will thank you. Your mind will thank you. And the world. The world will have no choice but to notice. Because when your body starts showing up with power, everything else follows. Number 4, cut the noise. Control what you consume. If you want clarity, confidence, and focus, you must start by protecting your mind. What goes in shapes what comes out. You can't fill your head with chaos and expect peace. You can't scroll through negativity all day and expect to walk with strength. Your mind is your command center. And the quality of your thoughts is directly tied to the quality of what you feed it. Most people are drowning in noise, scrolling through endless opinions, binging content that offers nothing but distraction. Listening to people who've never built anything tell them how to live. It's no wonder they feel lost. No wonder they feel overwhelmed. Your environment isn't just physical, it's digital, mental, and emotional. And if you don't take control of it, it will take control of you. So this week, cut the noise. Unfollow what drains you. Mute the voices that make you doubt yourself. Step away from the doom scrolling, the gossip, the news cycles designed to stir fear. Not forever, just for 1 week. 1 week of silence from the outside world, so you can finally hear your own voice again. Replace it with better input. Listen to things that build you. Watch content that inspires action. Read something that sharpens your thinking. Surround yourself with ideas that challenge you to grow, not comfort you into staying the same. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be intentional, because every time you choose a better input, you strengthen the foundation of who you are becoming. And don't just think about content. Think about people. Who are you allowing into your emotional space? Are they lifting you up or pulling you down? Are they reminding you of your strength or feeding your doubt? You're not being rude by protecting your energy. You're being responsible. You don't owe anyone your attention, especially if they're not respecting your growth. This is your week to rewire, to reframe your mind with focus and purpose. Turn off the noise and tune into your mission. Because once you clean up the inputs, you'll notice something powerful. You start thinking clearer, moving faster, and believing deeper. your goals come into focus. Your values become louder, and the chaos of the world loses its grip on you. You want to become unrecognizable? Then feed your mind like someone who's going somewhere. Starve the distractions. Fuel the vision. Your mind is too powerful to waste on junk. Guard it like your future depends on it, because it does. Number 5. Plan like a pro. Don't wing it. You don't stumble your way into greatness, you plan your way there. You can't expect to become unrecognizable by the end of the week if every day begins with guesswork and ends with confusion. Winners don't wing it. They prepare. They write things down. They live by direction, not by default. Let me tell you something simple but powerful. Every minute you spend planning saves hours of wasted effort. People think planning is boring. They say it takes too much time. But the truth is, it gives you back more time than you realize. Without a plan, your energy leaks. Your focus drifts. Your decisions get delayed, and all of a sudden the day is gone, and nothing important got done. Start planning like your future depends on it, because it does. Every night before you sleep, write out your next day. Don't leave your goals in your head. Put them on paper. Put them on your phone. Make them visible and real. Know what time you'll wake up. Know what your top 3 priorities are. Know when you'll do the hard stuff, not if you'll get around to it. And when you wake up, review it like a playbook before a championship game. Don't wait for the mood to strike. Don't hope the day flows your way. You take control of it. A clear plan gives you confidence. It eliminates decision fatigue. It helps you say no to distractions because you already said yes to your priorities. When people pull you off track, you'll know it because your direction is already set. And here's the magic. Once you start living by a plan, momentum builds. Suddenly you're getting more done in one focused day than you used to get done in a scattered week. You're not reacting anymore. You're creating. You're not surviving the day. You're building something from it. That's the mark of someone who's becoming unrecognizable. Not because they're working harder, but because they're working smarter. Don't confuse movement with progress. Just because you're busy doesn't mean you're growing. Busyness without clarity is just noise. But a plan, that's your compass. That's how you rise above the average. That's how you take your life off autopilot and put it back in your hands. So stop hoping things just work out. Start designing your days with precision. Be the kind of person who lives with intention, not impulse. Because when you plan like a pro, you move like a leader. You execute like a winner. And the person you were a week ago won't even recognize the person you're becoming now. Number 6, do hard things on purpose. If you want to change fast, if you want to become unrecognizable in just 1 week, then make this your new rule. Do hard things on purpose. Not by accident, not when you're forced to. Do them because you decide to. Because the people who grow the fastest are the ones who stop avoiding discomfort and start chasing it. Most people spend their lives trying to make everything easier. They search for shortcuts, comfort zones, and escape routes. But what they don't realize is this: every time you avoid hard things, you delay your potential. Every time you play it safe, your confidence shrinks. Growth doesn't come from ease. It comes from challenge, pressure, resistance. That's where character is built. So this week, lean into discomfort. Wake up earlier than you want to. Speak up when it's uncomfortable. Push your body when your mind wants to quit. Start the thing you've been avoiding. Discipline your time. Face the fear. Whatever is hard, make it your assignment. Don't wait for life to force your hand. Get ahead of it. Because here's the truth: comfort will never lead you to greatness. But discomfort, that's the doorway. When you train yourself to do the hard things, you become mentally stronger. You develop grit. You gain self-respect. And that's the kind of fuel you need if you're serious about transformation. It doesn't have to be extreme. Start small. Choose one hard thing today and complete it, no matter how you feel. The power isn't in how big the task is. It's in the act of following through. The moment you push past resistance, something changes in you. You're no longer being controlled by your feelings. You're being led by your mission. And here's the reward. Once you get used to doing hard things, easy things don't excite you anymore. You'll start craving growth. You'll start seeking challenges because you'll see how much you're capable of. The hard things become your training ground. And soon, what used to scare you becomes your standard. This is how you become unrecognizable. Not because life got easier, but because you got tougher, stronger, sharper. People will wonder what changed, but they won't see the quiet battles you fought each day. They won't know about the discomfort you embraced or the resistance you broke through, but you'll know, you'll feel it in your walk, in your posture, in your decisions. So if there's one habit you take with you from this week, let it be this: never back down from the hard path. Take it, own it, conquer it, because the person you want to become is waiting for you on the other side. Number 7, talk like you've already won. Words are powerful. They are not just sounds you make with your mouth. They are commands to your subconscious mind. Every time you speak, you are either reinforcing strength or weakness, belief or doubt, progress or excuses. That's why if you want to become unrecognizable in 1 week, you must start talking like the person you're becoming, not the one you've been. Think about it. How do you talk about your goals? Do you say, "I hope I can," or "I will"? Do you say, "I'm trying," or "I'm doing it"? There's a massive difference between someone who says, "I'll try to change," and someone who says, "I'm already becoming better." One is passive. The other is powerful. One leaves room for failure. The other creates certainty. From this moment forward, your language has to change. Stop speaking like a maybe. Stop watering down your dreams with soft words. Start using language that aligns with victory. Speak like your actions matter, like your habits are improving, like your success is inevitable. Because when your words change, your mind follows. And when your mind shifts, your behavior transforms. That doesn't mean you lie to yourself. It means you tell the truth from the perspective of your potential. If you've been lazy, say, "That version of me is gone." If you've failed before, say, "That was training, not defeat." If you've been doubting, say, "I've decided to believe again." Speak life into your direction, not death into your delay. This is not fake positivity. It's focused identity, because you're not just speaking about your situation. You're speaking to your spirit, and your spirit listens. When you say, "I can't," it shuts down. But when you say, "I will," it rises. So talk like you've already won. Not because everything is perfect, but because your mindset is shifting. And that shift is more important than any outcome. Be careful of your self-talk. Don't joke about your flaws like they're permanent. Don't make sarcasm your defense. Speak with clarity, with belief, with strength, and extend that same speech to others. Speak power into their lives. Speak encouragement over their journey. The words you give out are the same energy you invite back in. Your voice carries weight, not because it's loud, but because it comes from belief. And when you believe, your actions change. You walk differently. You show up differently. People can feel it, and that's what makes you unrecognizable. Not just what you do, but how you speak. So this week, every time you catch yourself saying something weak, flip it, replace it, rewire it. Speak like the future version of you is already here. Because the more you talk like you've already won, the faster you become the kind of person who does. Number 8, dress with intention. Let's get something straight. How you present yourself on the outside doesn't define your worth, but it absolutely influences your mindset. The way you show up physically sets the tone for how you act, how others treat you, and how seriously you take yourself. You don't need expensive clothes, designer brands, or flashy accessories, but you do need intention. You need to dress like someone who's going somewhere, someone who's building, growing, and stepping into a higher level of life. Think about it. When you're dressed sharp, clean, and put together, you walk taller. You speak with more confidence. You move with more certainty. Why? Because you're signaling to yourself that today matters. You're telling your brain, we're not lounging, we're leading. And that subtle shift in energy spills over into everything you do. This is about honoring the process. If you're working on becoming unrecognizable, then your outer presentation should reflect the inner transformation. When you roll out of bed and stay in pajamas all day, your body picks up on that message. We're not serious. But when you wake up and get dressed with intention, even if no one sees you, you're reinforcing a different message. We're showing up to win. And don't make the mistake of thinking appearance is shallow. It's not about impressing others. It's about building discipline, self-respect, and internal alignment. When you take pride in your appearance, even in the smallest way, clean shoes, groomed hair, ironed clothes, you raise your standard. And when your standard goes up, your results follow. You're building a new identity this week. And every piece of that identity must be intentional. From how you move to how you speak. And yes, how you look. Think of your clothes as armor, not to protect you from the world, but to remind you who you are in it. When you look in the mirror, and see a focused, polished, powerful version of yourself, you begin to act like that person. You start making decisions from that energy. And that's how change accelerates. You don't need a new wardrobe. You just need to elevate what you already have. Stand in front of the mirror before you step out and ask, does this version of me look like he or she is chasing greatness? If the answer is no, make an adjustment. Not for vanity, but for vision. Because the person you're becoming deserves to be seen, even if it's just by you. So look the part. Dress like every day matters. Carry yourself like your future is already unfolding. Because it is. And when people see you, let them feel it in their gut. This person is on a mission. When your presence speaks before you say a word, you're not just changing. You're becoming unforgettable, unshakable, unrecognizable. Number 9, build a 7-day streak of self-discipline. Discipline is the bridge between who you are now and who you're trying to become. If you want to be unrecognizable in just 1 week, you don't need magic, you need momentum. And momentum comes from one thing: self-discipline. The ability to do what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it. Especially when you don't feel like it. Most people think discipline is a punishment. It's not. It's a gift. It's the highest form of self-respect. When you keep your word to yourself, when you say you're going to do something and you actually follow through, you begin to trust yourself. And that trust becomes power. That's where confidence lives. Not in comfort, not in hype, but in quiet consistency. So here's your mission. Build a 7-day streak of self-discipline. 7 days where you show up for yourself without fail. 7 days of doing what you said you would do. Wake up when you said you would. Stick to your routine. Eat what fuels you. Train your body. Avoid the junk habits. Finish the tasks. Keep the promises. And when your mind screams for comfort, you stay the course. It's not about perfection. It's about the pattern. 1 day becomes 2. 2 becomes 4. Before you know it, you're stacking wins. And each win rewires your brain. It starts whispering, "This is who I am now. I follow through." That's how change happens. Not from grand declarations, but from simple, disciplined actions done daily. This streak isn't for the world to see. It's for you. It's your inner contract. Your proof that you're serious about becoming more. Because here's the truth. No one will believe in you until you believe in you. And nothing builds belief like discipline. Discipline is quiet, but its results are loud. People won't see the early mornings, the temptations resisted, the sacrifices made, but they'll see the glow, the strength, the shift in your energy. And here's the best part. You don't have to wait to feel motivated. Discipline doesn't care about your feelings. It only cares about your decision. Once you decide to commit to that 7-day streak, you stop negotiating. You don't ask yourself, do I feel like it? You say, it's who I am now. That's identity level change. And identity change, that's the foundation of transformation. So start the streak. Track it if you have to. Mark the days. Feel the momentum building. And by the end of the week, you'll look back and realize you're not the same. You're not the person who made excuses, broke promises, or ran from discomfort. You're becoming someone different, someone stronger, someone the old version of you wouldn't even recognize. That's what this week is about. That's what makes it real. 7 days, full commitment, no compromise. Watch what happens. Number 10, create a non-negotiable night routine. How you end your day is just as important as how you start it. Most people treat the evening like a slow collapse. They scroll until they're numb, snack until they're bloated, and fall asleep with chaos on their minds. And they wonder why the next day feels like a fog. If you want to become unrecognizable in 1 week, you need to end each day like someone who is serious about success. That means building a non-negotiable night routine. This isn't about being robotic. It's about being intentional. Your night routine is the bridge between who you were today and who you want to be tomorrow. It's the closing ceremony of your progress. It's where you lock in your gains, reflect on your actions, and prepare for battle again in the morning. Start by powering down the noise. Turn off the screens. Cut off the world's input so your mind can breathe. Give yourself space to think, to settle, to disconnect from the chaos. Then, do a short review. Ask yourself, what did I do well today? What can I improve tomorrow? What am I grateful for right now? This 5-minute reflection is small, but it rewires everything. Now set the next day in motion. Lay out your clothes. Prepare your to-do list. Write down your top 3 goals. Don't wait until morning to get clarity. Decide now while your mind is calm. That way, when the sun rises, you're not stumbling, you're executing. Next, do something that signals peace. Maybe it's reading a few pages of a great book. Maybe it's writing in a journal. Maybe it's just sitting in silence and breathing deeply. Whatever it is, Make it a signal to your mind. We're shutting down with strength, not chaos. And here's what makes it powerful. You make it non-negotiable. That means even when you're tired, even when you're tempted to crash, you follow the routine. Why? Because this is who you are now. You're not just someone chasing success. You're someone living it, day by day, night by night. That's what separates the dreamers from the doers. One lives on intention. The other lives on impulse. This night routine becomes your anchor. No matter how the day went, whether it was a win or a lesson, you end it with purpose. And when you sleep, you rest knowing that you closed the day with dignity. That feeling, that's what builds self-respect. And self-respect is what fuels consistency. So from this night forward, no more careless endings. No more crashing into sleep like a runaway train. You finish strong, you reset, you recommit, and you rise the next day with fire already lit. Because when you master your nights, your mornings follow. Your momentum multiplies. And day by day, that transformation you started, it becomes permanent, predictable, powerful. It becomes you. You don't need a new year to change your life. You don't need more time, more money, or more motivation. What you need is a decision. 1 week, 7 days of clarity, discipline, and purpose. That's all it takes to start becoming unrecognizable. Not to others first, but to yourself. When you wake up with intention, when you cut out distractions, when you eliminate weak habits, when you move with power and speak with belief, something shifts. You begin to break the grip of who you were, and you start stepping into who you were meant to be. Not a random version of success, but your own version. The one buried under years of delay, self-doubt, and noise. This past week, you've been challenged to take your mornings seriously, to eliminate just one destructive habit, to move your body like it matters, to control your inputs, to plan your day like a pro, to embrace hard things, to speak like a winner, to dress like someone going places, to stack a streak of discipline, and to end every day with intention. That is a blueprint for personal transformation. That is how you shift from average to exceptional, from lost to focused, from ordinary to unrecognizable. And here's the secret. This week, the beginning. If you can do it for 7 days, you can do it for 14. If you can do it for 14, you can carry it into a month. And after a month, you're no longer just changing. You've already changed. The world starts noticing. People treat you differently. Opportunities come your way, not because of luck, but because of how you show up. You've trained your mind, your body, your habits, and your energy to operate on a higher frequency. But the real reward, it's internal. It's the peace that comes from knowing you kept your promises. The pride that builds when you keep going. You repeat the process.